go then. Hey everybody, welcome to the Seal Podcast, episode number 186 for the 4th of August, 2023. I'm your host Fraser. I'm joined on my left by Neil.
Hello.
Hello. And on my right by Dave.
Hello.
Hello!
As if it's fucking August. You're lying, aren't you?
It is. Summer's almost over.
Yeah, been and gone.
That reminds me, I'm away again on a Friday night. So
Oh, mate. Really?
Yeah.
Maybe we can have a week off, Dave.
end of August.
All right. Good. Please remind us closer to the date.
Like the day before?
Yeah, sure.
Well, a couple of days.
You can have some practice. Give you time to practice some streaming layouts. Get it all like organised.
Yeah, okay. We'll do that.
Yeah, as if.
Welcome back again. It's good to be back. I did something last week I haven't done for a while. As I listened to the show. I took my dog out for a big walk and listened to the show, which was fun. It's good to hear.
Was it good?
I think it's all right, actually. You know what?
Second time around, like
Is that why the listens went up last week?
A lot of the times I finish the show and I'm like, I don't think that was very good. But then I listen to the shows and they're always all right. So I usually feel like you've let us down a bit, Neil. But you know, when I come around for a second listen,
the jokes hit better the second time, do they? Once you understand them.
Yeah. Okay, so have we got any footy stuff?
Well, it's a week to go. Some people are excited this week because their teams are playing. This is normally when I'm thinking, oh, my team's playing this weekend, but they're not.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Because we're up in the big leagues.
Yeah.
So normally my team would be playing this weekend, but not now. Hopefully not next year either.
Times. Sorry, remind me, have Luton ever been in the Premiership where you've been alive?
No, we got relegated the year before the Premier League started.
What?
So we are founder members of the Premier League yet to play in the Premier League.
Were you a Luton fan back when they were in Division 1?
I've been a Luton fan since I was born.
All right. Don't tell too many people. Keep that to yourself, mate.
I have no choice. I was born in Luton, so therefore you support Luton. That's how it works.
Oh, were you born in Luton? Oh, I didn't realise that.
Well, I don't know technically. I was in the L&D hospital, which is, I guess, might be Dunstable, but I think it's Luton still. It's very close between the two, so who knows?
What does it say on your birth certificate? Where were you born?
I don't know. I can't remember. Luton, I think.
Oh.
Luton.
All right. Were you born in
Northampton?
Northampton?
Put an apostrophe instead of the T. Oh, yeah.
Luton. Yes, I am born, bred, and the missus is exactly the same. She was born 8 days away from me in the same ward. We worked out it was like opposite to where I was born.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So even
when you go to somewhere,
well-traveled man,
so you're Northampton, born and bred, and still living there. Yeah. You are well travelled though, actually, aren't you? Yeah.
I like to think so.
Yeah. More so than me.
You get intimidated, Neil, when you go down to London. Do you feel intimidated by the big buildings and stuff?
No.
No. I didn't realise until the other day. My dad hasn't left the UK ever.
Wow.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was like, I'm sure we've been on holidays. Yeah, we've always holidayed. When I was, holidaying with them,
He's never stepped foot over into France or Europe or anything like that. No.
Yeah.
Has he been into any of the outlying countries like Wales or Scotland?
He's been to Wales and Scotland.
So he has sort of international traveller then.
Sort of, but yeah, I don't think he's travelled. He hasn't crossed the seas. As he's put it. So
not even been to the Isle of Wight. That's pretty much going to another country.
I was trying to tempt him to next year, maybe a motorbike ride down to France.
Or pop his mind if he hasn't been abroad yet.
How do you? Can you go on the tunnel in the motorbike?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't drive the tunnel. Neil,
no,
right?
I know, but you go on a train, and I can't imagine that's very nice on a motorbike. Because you don't get out of your car normally. You
can get out of your car.
You can,
not really.
But yeah, you just.
It's not like there's a buffet car, is there?
Dude, you're only in there for about an hour.
Yeah,
like half an hour or whatever. Yeah. So
depends where. I guess the car one's only from Dover, isn't it?
Yeah,
Is it
I'd rather
Felix,
go on
though?
a
I don't
train
even
than a ferry on the bike.
Oh, mate, the train is just the Eurotunnel's fantastic.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
brilliant.
Expensive.
So yeah, no, because I was like, oh, let's try and do something. Because I'm trying to sort of plan something for the future. It's like I've never had a passport. It's like, what do you mean you've never had a passport? Nope, never had a passport.
See,
It's like,
you're going to find out he's like completely like off the grid. Like no one knows about him. He's got no NHS number or anything.
That's right. When it turns out he can't have a passport, then it's gonna be interesting.
yeah. So no, it was just a surprising thing that I found out about my dad today.
What did your dad do for a living? Again, I'm
I-
assuming he's retired, right?
Well, semi-retired. He's a builder. He was a builder.
Builder by day. Did he go off and like, I'm off to build things, but actually he was like some sort of international spy?
Well, the
But
funny thing
we've
is
already
that-
established he hasn't left the country.
Well,
Unless
that can't-
you
we
went
know
to the
that,
international
that's a
spy in
front.
Scotland.
That's a front.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing is you used to go and see a man about a dog
Mm.
quite often,
Mhm.
and then I later came to find out that was a euphemism for going down the pub.
Right.
Yes.
But he was also into his dogs as well, so he used to buy and sell and go coursing and like rabbiting, which I didn't even realize was completely illegal until about 5 years ago. But yeah, I used to go out lamping with my dad.
Lamping?
and then-
What's that?
Lamping. So
That's
like
when you go and
just
hit
going
people,
into
I think.
going into a field with a car battery and a big lamp and setting a couple of lurchers onto some rabbits that you find with a lamp because the eyes. I didn't realize that was illegal.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, but yeah, I used to go out with him.
What,
doing that.
killing rabbits is illegal?
Going onto other people's land in the middle of the night when you're not supposed to,
Well,
With a
yeah.
car battery and a lamp.
with a car battery and a 100-watt lamp.
Couldn't just take a torch.
Well, that's the point.
That
is
was
that
the old school, wasn't it? Now
that this
they've
is
revised it,
and they
haven't
were massively powerful, and you had to take a car. And I was the
Oh,
one looking around the
Pretty
car
LEDs,
battery.
this is it?
Does it just blind the rabbits? They don't see the dog coming. Then that's it.
It's
right?
yeah, and then until they see it, and then they
But it's too late.
have a good chase. So yeah,
Mm.
yeah. So
Dave's into his blood sports. There
Yeah,
we go.
no,
Dave.
well, I know. You remember that bit I said about can't have a passport? It's starting to sound like it could be more.
But
more
yeah,
likely
so
one.
what I was trying to say is that he's a countryman. He's he's got a shotgun license and a gun
Shotgun
safe.
license, no passport. Very good.
Yeah.
We've got a shotgun shop in town, though, or near town.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a bit weird.
Sporting, isn't it?
Where's, I think,
yeah.
I don't know what it's called. Like the logo is literally like you're looking down the barrel of a to a double barrel shotgun. I'm like,
Oh right, okay.
could
Are
have
you
chosen
looking
it.
at the
You're
duck,
literally
not
looking down the back,
from
like
duck's
as in it's
perspective?
pointing at you. It's like the two barrels. I'm like,
Right,
slightly aggressive logo there. Doug Suru's in the chat. He says, "Remember, Dave likes burgers from a can."
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking about them the other day actually.
Oh, jeez.
Well, this is an
It's
interesting football
summertime,
chat we're
isn't it?
having anyway.
Yeah. So there really is there. So there's not much football going
Well,
on, is there?
I need to sort out the head-to-head league. I think I'm just going to plonk the set the league up and plonk it in the Discord. I don't know if you can restrict it to 16 for some reason. I was like, well, that seems an odd number to restrict it to. Surely you'd want 20. But it's either unlimited or a max of 16. You can restrict it to less than 16, but seems weird. So I'm just going to put it in the Discord because I don't think.
And then what does it do if you restrict it to 16? Then does it just take the top 16 people?
You have the last 3 weeks, I think, become like a knockout cup at the end.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I think we'll just we've got 16 or 18 or something in the league at the minute. Hopefully there'll be a little late rush. For anyone who isn't on the Discord, I'm going to read out the code for the league if I can find it. There it is. Right. Oh, that's right, isn't it? So it's all lowercase in the code.
Oh, is that desperate for league people now? Okay.
No, I'm like we don't want other people who don't listen. But not everyone who listens is on the Discord. It appears. Yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that the criteria? Get on the Discord.
Well, we'd rather you were in the Discord, but if you're a listener, that's fine.
So if you're a listener and you're not on the Discord, Neil likes you, I don't.
Oh, well.
So
Maybe they won't listen anymore.
Tell people the actual web address first.
Right, it's
And then, okay.
fantasy.premierleague.com. And then obviously you'll need to set your team up. And once you've got everything set up, you go to join an invitational league. And the code you need to join is TWLRXZ. That's TWLRXZ.
That's a Z at the end if
No.
you're an American.
It's a Z, wherever you are. Sorry.
And in phonetic? No, what is it? I won't make you say it out. That's Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
Okay. All right. Anything
Okay.
else then, footy wise?
Well, someone
Oh,
got
jeez.
injured the other day who might be in a lot of teams.
Oh,
Plays
yeah.
for Arsenal. Gabriel Jesus. He's out for the first few weeks of the season, if you weren't aware. He was like, is he the second most expensive forward, possibly? I think. Like a long.
Could
Oh,
be.
no, third. Sorry.
Third.
Yeah. So, yeah, that could affect a few people. It wasn't in my team. But that
No.
also
Yeah.
could affect who plays up front for Arsenal. Well, it will affect who plays up front for Arsenal. So,
I've just realised I've got a player that's not even in the league anymore.
yeah, probably been
He's
transferred
left
out.
the country.
Well,
Mahrez.
Mahrez, yeah, that's gone a while ago. He went to Saudi. Well, are we
Oh,
all
did
looking
he?
forward to doing the Fantasy Saudi League in a few years' time?
I was
Well,
going to
that's what
say, yeah.
everyone's
Some
fucking
people
off there.
jumping ship then for the big paydays, eh?
Yeah. Jordan's gone. Henderson. It was a bit of a. Well, it ain't gone down too well, has it? Really? We talk
No.
about this
I know. I don't know anything about that.
because he was an ally, as you might put it, to like the LGBTQ community, and now he's gone to play in Saudi, so it didn't go
Oh.
down very well.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, that's going to go down well.
So he's ruined his legacy, obviously, by earning approximately £700 million in the next year or two. So,
Jesus.
okay.
All right. Now I feel sick. Let's move on.
So yeah, if you're not on the Discord, you won't get the code for the head-to-head league, I guess, because won't be a show before next week when I've get it set up. So
Just give one of us a shout. We'll help you out.
Uh,
And by one of us, I mean Neil.
Seaman's got a question. He obviously needs to go. I think he's got an early start in the morning, so he's got a question in the chat. He says, "Is it worth buying Dave the Diver deluxe version?"
Oof.
haven't got
well,
it.
you know what? You should continue to listen to the rest of the show, Christian.
But I think the deluxe version is basically the game plus the soundtrack. So, yeah, the normal game. You just
Yeah, I
get the
think
game.
you're right. It's the soundtrack, yeah.
So I think it's only the soundtrack.
Soundtrack's in the game, so just keep the game open.
Unless you want it to download and like listen to on your walks and stuff. It's good tunes, but I wouldn't go around listening to it, obviously.
Yeah.
So I would say no. The short
okay.
answer.
All right. Okay, let's move on to listener stuff. Friend of the show, Column, says, thoughts on PS5 Pro. Do we need one, as the current PS5 games don't look that much better than PS4 games, in my opinion?
You should have got Specsavers, mate.
I was going to say.
Well, I really wasn't in the PS4 universe for very long. I did have a PS4 for a while, and I haven't touched a PS5. Well, I have touched a PS5 actually, but I haven't played much of a PS5. So I defer this question to my learned colleague Neil, and perhaps Dave. I'm not sure Dave's got a take on that, but I can't see that's true.
Well, the rumor is there's going to be a remodel of the PS5. The thing was a Slim, and then when they do a Slim, they might make some things more efficient, I guess. But I think the games do look a lot better. Having literally played, like, Judgment is still technically a PS4 game. They got a little bit of an update for PS5, and then I watched the PS4 Pro footage on YouTube. I was like, yeah, that looks a lot better on PS5. But it's still basically a PS4 game. The actual PS5 and Xbox Series X or whatever PC games, I think they do look a lot like things like Remnant 2. I haven't played, but that's running on Unreal Engine 5, and that ain't happening on a PS4 or an Xbox One.
Right.
And even
think
on
there's
the
been a bit of
latest hardware, that's chugging in places because it's doing so much stuff. So I just don't think, because there's still a lot of the games that have come out have been cross-gen, and there's only a few like new gens only games. So I think you'll see the difference when you see the new Spider-Man, it running on an actual PS5 versus what you played on PS4 Spider-Man. I think you'll see the difference. I mean, even because the Spider-Man remaster is still just like a bit of a glow up, but I think Spider-Man 2 is really gonna.
It's fair to say that sort of, you know, the generational leaps and bounds are not the same as they used to be. You know, since we hit the Xbox 360, PS3 years, it's been far less impactful.
And that was a huge jump. When it went to like HD, that was a massive change.
Yeah. Well, even from SNES and you know, going into the N64, going to a 64-bit, it was 3D graphics. Whereas before it was just a sort of a 2D. They did try and do some 3D, but it wasn't very good.
You had to pay about £200 for a game because it was all on the cartridge as well, wasn't
it? Yeah. That was,
PS5 Pro. I mean, that doesn't help me out. You know, I've got a big problem.
Other than buying a PS5 cheaper, maybe.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I have the PS5. The pricing to me is an issue. I think for a home console, PS5 and the Xbox Series X is outrageous.
I don't think that they're over here. I don't think £400 isn't that bad, even in our the state of our economy. I don't know how it's so expensive in Canada.
Yeah,
it's because that sounds a lot. Like when you said $700, I was like, that sounds a lot.
It is a lot.
How much was the PS3 when it was $600 at the US in Canada then?
I mean, is it a lot? I don't know. Whether maybe I'm just out of touch.
It sounds like a big number compared to £400, but everything sounds more obviously in Canada. I don't know. It's more for a loaf of bread, I guess, in Canada than it is for a loaf of bread.
I think I paid like close to $400 for the Switch, and then the PS5 is $700. You know, I don't know.
$400 for a Switch. I mean, they're going for like around $300, maybe $260 around here. You can get an OLED for less than £300. So that, I don't know, mate. You know, but your money better than me. But
I don't think I do.
£400 sounds for what you get in with for £400. I think that sounds pretty good.
Anyway, everything's expensive now, so that's that. But yeah, PS5 Slim. You know,
nicer looking PS5.
Let me enter the PS5 universe at less money, please. You know, it's been out for 3 years now.
Well, I was just listening to a podcast the other day. They were talking about how it was like someone had asked a question about Xbox revenue and all this sort of stuff, and how like their hardware sales are down for Xbox. And the talk was basically like partially like Xbox have pumped way too many Xbox Series X chips into the cloud. And that's why there's less Series X's around than PS5s, because they have been using them to power the cloud stuff. Whereas PlayStation have done none of that at all. You don't play PS5 games in the cloud, as far as I'm aware. So there's no PS5 tech going anywhere other than into PS5s. And that's how they're fucking selling shitloads.
Yeah, but isn't it? Nobody plays cloud, do they?
Well, not really, no, because that's what they're saying. It seems like a bit of a bad idea to have done that. I mean, the stuff in the cloud runs really well, great, but I literally load it up to do a Game Pass quest or something for about 5 seconds and then shut it down. I don't know how many people are really using it. So they're struggling to still supply Series X's versus how many PS5s are available. Like PS5 now, obviously, there's so many about, they can drop the price and sell more. Whereas you ain't getting a deal on a Series X. And they've released a Series S that's even more expensive than the old one, with a bit more hard drive space, but it's a lot more, for like an extra half a terabyte or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't feel the need for a PS5 Pro. I don't think so. I just think the games that we've been having are not really been. They're not new gen games. They're still old gen games that have had a glow up, and it's only now really that we're starting to get proper new gen games. Because there's quite. I mean, they've even announced that Star Wars is going to be like Jedi Survivor is actually going to go to Xbox One and PS4. I was like, that seems crazy, because that was fucking struggling at times on like the new hardware. So I don't know what it's going to run like on them things. It'll be well shit compared to like the version that I played, even though that was running a bit poo at times. But yeah, I think it's the games more than the tech.
Yeah, I'm wondering if a lot of these places are actually realizing that 4K isn't the generation the same jump as 1080p, like 720 to 1080. Whereas I found that, especially on the TV size, I've only got a 55 inch in my living room, but you can definitely tell a difference between 720 and 1080. But jumping to 1080 to 4K, the missus can't tell the difference. I'm telling you, I
My
can
missus
because I'm
is still
looking
watching Murder She Wrote, thinking it looks fine. I'm like,
at
trust me,
480.
it does not look fine.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I think a lot of this 4K gaming, a lot of these companies and the consoles were trying to push for it as a standard, whereas I don't think it's needed. And the amount of processor power and graphics that you need to run at a decent frame rate of 4K will be better spent just working at 1080p.
Yeah, I like. I mean, I play at 1440 on my PC, and I like that's a good res. Well, I mean, I'm right next to my screen as well,
Right.
but that definitely looks like an upgrade on 1080p, but it's only like still not having to push as many pixels as a 4K.
Yeah.
So you get that. It does look nicer, but it's not absolutely killing hardware. So yeah, I don't know.
Mm.
4K,
Right.
I think you can tell, but it's more the HDR that you notice. Like that is a big thing, definitely. Like it's like I've been playing a game earlier that's on the Switch on my big TV, my OLED, and fucking hell, OLED's the key. That just looks amazing. Everything looks
Right.
amazing on an OLED.
Well, that's it. If you've got a deep, an amazing TV, yeah, then yeah, it doesn't matter what you put on it. Really,
Yeah.
it's gonna
I was
pop.
playing like Wipeout HD or whatever on my OLED a few months ago, and that looked pretty fucking good. I can assure you. But,
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, all right. Thanks, Colin. Paul W says light gun games have not been the thing for quite some time. Do you think they should make a comeback? Be nice to have a good shooting peripheral, wouldn't it?
I don't know, would it? I guess it's VR is where you have those things, isn't it?
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, we do play shooters, a lot of shooters. So,
But
are we
I
I
think
don't know.
generally?
isn't it
If
to do
light gun
with the
games
TV tech that they
yeah, I
stopped
was gonna
doing?
say I don't think it will
Well, I'm
work on
saying, yeah.
non-CRTs.
Well, I mean, we don't see
anymore.
him. Maybe we don't see him for a reason because the tech just isn't there.
Yeah, I think the Wii U, the Wii was the last one because it used to have a little sensor that you had to put on your telly. So
Yeah, that was
that
well
worked.
dodge. Let's be honest, that was shady as fuck. That wasn't very accurate at all.
A little hint: if you had a CRT, if you put the light gun against the glass and just fired, you'll hit every time. Doesn't matter
Yeah, I
whereabouts.
remember we had a. Do you remember? We had a Binatone thing. That was like there was with the like little paddles, and you played Pong and things like that. I don't know what there was an American.
Fucking hell, how old are you?
This is fucking old, mate. Trust me. But we had one with a light gun, and it literally looked like a giant pistol. It looked like a Splinter Cell, like silenced pistol or something. And literally, there was a big white square that like used to go around the screen, and me and my brother used to usually stand right next to the screen with the gun going right next to the dot. And yeah, get loads of points. Yeah, we got loads of points. But yeah,
we're the best.
but yeah, I don't know. I think I don't know. Arcades, are they still a thing in arcades? Probably.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, you still get
there was a good what was it? Jurassic Park or something. I remember one. There was a massive Jeep in the arcade with guns on.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds like fun.
Yeah, I don't
Well,
know.
I'm not sure that was the point of the film, just going around murdering
No.
the.
I think I don't need them. I think they were like the Switch, I guess, can do clever stuff with its controllers.
The Switch can do some clever stuff with its Joy-Cons, yeah.
Like I've seen a lot of peripherals that you just stick one of them Joy-Cons in, that makes it look like a gun or a rear steering wheel or whatever.
They definitely had those for the Wii, didn't they? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there
Yeah.
was a game on the PSVR that literally had. I think it was. I don't know if it used the move. I think you had to plug your move. You literally slot 2 move controllers in, but you held a thing. It was literally like you were holding a rifle.
Okay.
I
Right.
can't remember what it's called. Something Point, I think. So there have been, but yeah, I think VR is the good place to do that kind of shit. But I don't need to be doing that anymore in my house. And I'd happily go and do it for like a couple of quid on the arcades or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I'm not having a fucking plastic gun in my house.
Okay, thanks, Paul. Appreciate that. I'm not quite sure. Darth Chipper sent something in here. It says this will really affect my fantasy league team. I don't know what she's talking about there.
Well, just I put in there. Harry Kane, like Bayern Munich have given Spurs
Harry
the
Kane.
deadline. Said this is our final offer. Take it or leave it. If he goes to Bayern, obviously he won't be in the league. Because he'll be in Germany.
Well, yep.
How much are they put in?
Well, Spurs, I think, are holding for £100 million, but the last I think was at 80 million euros, which is some way off £100 million. But I don't know what they've offered. They didn't say, but I've seen a lot of money.
Does Harry Kane get a say in this?
He's under contract with Spurs for another season, so unless he basically goes on strike, then he's playing for Spurs next year unless they agree something. But I saw something like they're going to offer him Bayern Munich 420 grand a week in pounds, so whatever that is. I assume it's about €500,000 or something like that.
And then some, yeah. Oh my god.
2 seasons then,
Can
retire.
we stop talking about how much money footballers make, please?
I know.
Andy Cox says, good evening. The proper football season kicks off tonight with some other teams joining in next week. My question is, how do you rate your team's kit this year? I've included my Works team kit, especially for Neil to give his opinion on it.
Where's his
Which one is that?
Kit? Well, it looks like Chelsea. Is that one? No, this is the Chelsea kit. I don't know. I've seen my Luton kit, Chelsea kit.
Luton kit is there.
That's the kit.
That's QPR on the
Watford.
Oh no, that is Chelsea on the top there.
He works at Watford, doesn't he? He works at Watford. Not all the time, but he does work at Watford.
Is that the new Chelsea kit? I like that with no
logo.
No
sponsor.
Yeah, that looks cool with no sponsor. Doesn't look like a bad kit. That looks all right. I like that.
It's a bit of an odd design.
Bit sporty.
I like the Luton kit. I have to say I do like the Luton,
for sportsmen.
Luton kit.
What, that
Which one's the
orange
Luton kit?
monstrosity?
The orange one. Shut up.
Oh, right.
That's
looks like they ran out of paint halfway
it's
across.
It's an homage to an old kit. There was an old kit with very similar.
Yeah, all right.
Last time we had an Umbro kit, maybe. I don't know. That was a long time ago. So I don't know who we had last year.
I can't wait for this season to start. It's going to be great, isn't it?
He said about Watford's sponsor being truly awful. MrQ.com. Is that some weird gambling company? I don't know. It sounds weird. What's MrQ.com? It's
got to be. If there's only some way we could check a website.
I don't know. Can't do that. My computer will break.
University of North. He's done very well, actually. He's given us all the kits. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. He's put Northampton in there. Yes, I do. Well, it's the team that I follow.
You can tell they're the lowest in the leagues, can't you? On that top.
Sponsored by a university.
No, not so much that.
Local university.
Just looks like a lower league kit, doesn't it?
I don't know. I don't study the football kits of. Chelsea looks pretty.
Look at him throwing shade from up on high. He's
Chelsea
drinking from the gold goblet now.
Yeah, Chelsea doesn't even have a sponsor on it.
Yeah, what's that all about? I bet they have about 100 by the time the kit season starts. They'll have a massive sponsor on there, I assume.
Do you think it's going to be like Pixel IO or something?
No, it's like OKX or whatever, some crypto exchange.
Where like everybody can just buy a pixel on their shirt for like
cool.
£1.
Good idea, Dave. Good idea. Don't let them hear you say that.
Yeah.
QPR kit's looking pretty classic QPR.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, the Watford kit doesn't look too bad. I quite like it.
It's pretty snazzy. Shame it's got a Watford badge on it, though.
It's almost an 80s throwback. If it was had some more vaporwave
There's no way you
colours
get
in
kits
it,
like that in the 80s. That's way too.
You would,
snazzy.
but they no, not with that color, but those sort of designs. I think.
Neil, do you
Shut
want to
up.
put
In the 80s, everyone had a plane kit.
Neil, can you
No,
put
I
a
don't mean like
screenshot on
necessarily
the?
on kits, but I mean it's like with whatever. Anyway,
I'll kill it.
if you made that into like some pinks and some grays and maybe some electric blues, that would look like something straight out of Athena.
So if anybody
yeah,
wants
but
to have
that's
a
not a
look
football kit,
of
though, is it?
these shirts, they're in the show comments on the Discord.
Or it's Luton, Chelsea, QPR, Northampton, and Watford.
Look at the Luton kit. I want everyone to go in and have a look at the Luton kit.
I like
It's
it.
totally
Look,
that's like somebody who's come to the ball
Right.
and just completely dressed
the away
wrongly.
kit's nicer because it's mainly white with an orange line, vertical stripe, whatever. I preferred the white kits. I've always preferred.
What about the goalies kit?
Our goalies kit's pink.
Yeah, we've seen quite a bit of that.
Yeah. Mate, I thought we looked all right the other day. Played Wolves 0-0.
By playing some people, that would be good.
I think I've got a feeling. I think we'll do okay. We're going to struggle
Can we,
against.
can we just acknowledge how great that joke gag was?
I wasn't
please?
listening. I wasn't listening.
You said you were playing Wolves, and I said, "Can you play some people next time?"
Okay. That was mate. That was scraping the barrel a bit. That was worse than one of mine.
All right, let's move on. What else have we got here? That's it, isn't it? That's our list.
That's
I'm
all this stuff.
distracted now.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. Let me just check. We've had another notification onto it. Oh, he said think. It's fine.
Right. Did we find out what MrQ.com is?
It's a betting company based in Hertfordshire, apparently.
Yeah.
Andy's
Sooner you guys put a stop to this betting nonsense, the better.
I think it has technically been stopped, but not from this season. So I think from possibly next year or the year after, it's definitely not a thing anymore.
All right. We're all agreed it's not great, right?
No, no one wants it. It's
out of control.
It's and there's so many now. They're like they were saying, another podcast I was listening to about football. They were talking to a guy who was in the marketing area of football and stuff like that, and he was going on about talking about shirt sponsors and how, like obviously gambling's not good and all that sort of stuff. Shouldn't be. He said it shouldn't be on there. He's in the marketing place, and he's like, no, we shouldn't be having gambling shit on companies on football shirts because it has the potential to cause so much harm. And he said a lot of the ones you see now, though, are not even based because in this country. They're Chinese ones. And because then literally they aren't allowed to sponsor their own shirts in China. So they sponsor Premier League clubs, which get shown in China.
Right.
Yeah, of course they do. And then the rules on it are so lax compared to the European laws for
The thing is, because you like in here, you can't go and use those betting companies from the UK. They're only for China, but they're on our shirts. But you can't use them in this country.
Oh, there was an F1 sponsor like that as well.
Yeah.
Oh, what was it? I can't remember. But there was it was
Andy's clarified the gambling thing. You can't have them on the chest from next season, but you can still have a logo on the arm. Long sleeves are back next season, apparently.
Isn't it? How do they get away with that? Like, who on earth has not got the balls to just go, right, it's, you know what? No. Oh, you can still put on the shirt, though. All right, no.
Everyone still wants to get paid, though, don't they?
I remember a couple of years ago, Paddy Power, which is a relatively well-known gambling firm in this country, they were sponsoring clubs, but not putting their name on their shirts. They would pay them the money, but wouldn't actually put their name on the shirt.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But everyone knew that they were sponsoring them.
And then said, if you don't mind losing 7 out of the first 8 games, that's brilliant.
Anyway, that was a very interesting chat I was listening to. It was on the Gab and Jules show.
Okay.
About how the money works and all that stuff. It was very interesting.
Okay. Thanks, Andy. Appreciate that. Let's move on to what we've been doing then. Did anybody watch the Studio 54 documentary?
No, I couldn't remember what it's called.
Right.
Plus, it's on Netflix, you said, so I didn't watch Netflix.
Yeah, okay.
I haven't watched any.
Hang on. I've got a notepad that I didn't add it to last time. That I'm going to add to now. Studio 54.
Yes.
Studio.
Busy night in the chat
Uh,
tonight. It's nice to see a few peeps around for the first time in a while.
That's good. Who's in
Because it's
there?
the
Jax.
weather's miserable.
That's
Is it?
Andy, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'll start then, shall I? So, one of the first things I have on here. What did I do? I've done. Can't remember what I worked on the car again at the weekend. I think some more. I'd done the clutch, hadn't I? Had I done the headlight? I had to do that.
No,
You say the clutch, you mean the air conditioning,
You've
The air
done the
conditioning
aircon
not the
clutch.
actual clutch.
The AC clutch.
So
Yeah.
that you were done and dusted, and that was the last thing. That was.
Yeah, the headlight was out. That was a problem. That ended up being a pick of a job. But anyway, car was sorted out. I got up. I think I got the bit between my teeth. The barbecue has been sitting on. So basically, in my garden, there used to be a full deck covered the whole garden. So when we took the
Wow.
deck out, there was basically the ground was dead. We created a sort of I put a patio in, but right now the barbecue has been sitting on the sort of mud outside at the back. I was like, I really need to put a pad out there for something, a proper pad for it to sit on. So we did that this week, dug that down, put our gravel base down, and then some sand, and then whatever. And so that was done. Good. My son did sterling work and helped me out on that. He did some good digging work. So that took us a day to do the main thing, and then just a bit of finishing off the next day. So I'm glad I got that done.
Have you used your barbecue since?
No, I haven't. I don't know why. I don't think I have anyway. Well, see, we finished it on Tuesday, and then you needed a day, 24 hours to leave it to set. I think there's some special sand we put in between the bricks or whatever that needs 24 hours to set. And then, I just haven't got around to using it. So not yet, but we will.
Keep us updated,
So that's...
won't you?
I will. I'll keep you updated. No problem. Yeah, probably sausages.
I was going to say, 'cause you used to like going out and doing your barbecue.
There's always flipping burgers out there.
Barbecue's getting used more than ever now because I put in a gas line, right? So I don't even have to worry about going to get a gas bottle. So it's all just turn it on and let's go. Now
it's literally on the mains gas, is it?
I was on the main gas lines. Yeah, don't you remember? Because I got the gas hookup right next to the electric, right next to the tap.
You did that right bodge job on it.
I didn't do it. I paid someone to do it. So yeah, that's done. So things are getting done. Oh, I cleaned out our fountain as well, which wasn't working. So that was nice. That's working again.
Your fountain?
Yeah, we have a little fountain out the back, but it's just been tiny dribble coming out, and I was like, so I finally
It's a metaphor, isn't
it? It's a metaphor. Oh yes, it is. Story of my life.
Did you have to get a cleaning rod down it?
No, I ended up jetting water backwards, like back flushing it, basically. And that seemed to dislodge whatever was causing all the problems. So that was good. It was interesting. Yesterday, there was I was just about to go out, and I noticed my neighbor came out, and she had a dog. I didn't recognize the dog, and she was trying to get it to go in the car. But it didn't want to go in the car, and then it didn't want to do anything, and then it was starting to run around a bit, and they couldn't get it. And then sort of her aunt, who lives down the road from me, came out and started helping. I was like, this isn't good. They're not getting that dog. So then I went out and I was like, okay, so I'll pick up a strategic point, see if we can corral this dog. Before you know it, there were 3 police cars turned up. They joined in, loads of neighbors, everyone. There was just sort of this massive posse of people surrounding the whole area trying to corral this dog in.
Sure, that helped.
Yeah, it just didn't. I mean, it was this sort of husky type dog. It was very smart, fast, young.
It wasn't a wolf.
No, it looked a bit wolf-like. It was pretty cool. It was a very good-looking dog. Yeah, and then it was just everyone, sort of chasing this dog around, trying to get it in whatever way they could.
Did someone have the Benny Hill music playing while everyone?
I was going to say, yeah,
definitely could have at one point. Yeah, for sure.
Did nobody try and wrestle it to the ground?
You got to be careful about wrestling dogs,
especially wolf-looking dogs.
I mean, yeah, I would wrestle your dog maybe, but even then, I'd still be scared of getting, dog claws and teeth on any dog on any size.
Sausage dogs. Sausage dogs, isn't it?
Yeah, the only thing I did do was after and this went on for an hour. It took an hour before they got the dog. Right, it was a long time. But I think halfway through, I just went, right, I'm going to get my dog. So I went and got my dog and basically stood at one point where I didn't want that dog to come past. And because, my dog is a bit of a brute, right? And I thought, well, this could go either way. Either the dog's going to come to my dog and fight it, which is a problem, or the dog,
make love to it.
or my dog is going to keep the dog away. And then just at one point, the dog did come around the corner, and this big goofy grin on his face as he comes around the corner. And my dog just let rip. He's like, jumps up, just wants to destroy him. And you see this dog just went, "Oh, I'm not going that way," and just sort of trotted back and went, into the area that we needed the dog. Anyway, they finally got it into somebody's back garden and got a lead on it, so it all worked out okay.
Whose
But I
dog
did
was
see a
it then?
car. Oh, it was my neighbor's brother's dog, but she was
Where
looking
was he
after
then?
it, right? Away. She's looking
Ah.
after it, so yeah.
Why was
But I
she
did
trying
see
to get
there
it in
was
the car then? She's going to dump
taking
it
it
somewhere.
somewhere. I don't know. Maybe.
This dog is far too
Um,
much aggro. I'm going to get rid of it.
But I really honestly thought, I think I might see a dog die here today because it was going on.
Oh,
At one
dear.
point, it was running down the middle of the main road, right? Just like
Yeah.
something out of an Irish beer commercial or something. I don't know, right?
Oh, it's a big commercial.
Well, they have horses running down the
Don't they-
road and stuff, don't they, in
They
beer
don't have cars
commercials?
in Ireland.
I don't know. Isn't that how they sell Guinness, with horses running around places?
Sometimes. Surfers
There you
and stuff.
go.
I don't know.
See? But a
They
car
play that
did
good
it did
music.
run in front of a car. You heard the car just jammed on the anchors and screeched to a halt. So the
Don't want to
police
hit a
were.
dog, do you? You're going to feel bad if you do that.
You don't want to see a dog get hit either.
Well, no, but you don't want to be the person driving the car, right? Particularly, I mean, oh man, I feel really bad.
Yeah. As you see, they bounced 40 foot in front of you.
I haven't really thought about it that much, to be honest.
They're going to bounce. You're going to project. If you hit a dog, I reckon, at good speed, you're going to send it flying, aren't you?
I don't know.
People go flying.
It depends how big your car is, I guess. Most people drive cars that are way too tall and big these days, so they'll probably just
Yeah.
crush it under the wheels.
Maybe.
Well, the point when you hit something, you've got to be accelerating so it doesn't go over the top and hit. Well, that's what we learnt in Australia. Is that if you hit a kangaroo,
They teach you how
if
to
you-
kill things
if
in your
you're
car.
if you're braking, the kangaroo is going to go on top of that and then sort of kill you because it's going to go through the
Oh, because your
Well,
car's
so
nosediving.
yeah.
as you
if
get
you see
closer
a
to it.
kangaroo
Yeah.
accelerate, right? Okay.
basically, yeah.
Don't stop for anything is the rule, right?
Oh yeah.
No,
in
don't
Australia.
bother even trying to avoid that motherfucker.
Well,
Just
I think
plant
it's
it.
just like you're gonna hit it. You're gonna hit it. Just just don't like allow it to come over the car because it will. Yeah.
It might hit someone
It'll kill
behind
you.
you.
Well, the person behind you can eat it. That's the rules in the UK anyway.
What, kangaroos? If you do that, if you do a kangaroo in the UK, you're probably in a zoo. You might be in a bit of
you're
trouble.
driving through Woburn. Yeah.
So anyway, it all ended up fine, so that was good. And the other thing I have on my list is I watched the Super Mario movie on Sunday.
Ooh,
Does that,
what do you
does
think?
that come out to
It was like
subscribed services now?
no, it was available to rent at a reasonable price. I think it was like
Yeah,
$7.
I was going to do it the other week, but it was like £17. And I was like, you can fuck off.
No, they tend to see here. They tend to be. I think $25 is probably what your premium rental price, right?
Yeah, so still just left the cinema and you can stream it at home price.
Yeah, and I usually wait for the bronze tier, which is the $6.99 or $4.99. And if I forget about something long enough and it goes to $3.99, then even better. But
Oh, it's on half price this week.
yeah. Anyway, so I got the Super Mario movie. I asked my wife if she'd watch it with me. She said yes. The kids just did not want to come and watch a movie with us, as usual. I did watch it with my wife. I was not happy with myself. I felt bad that I had chosen this movie.
What, did you cry?
No, it's interesting, right? I watched it with my wife and I was like, I could have switched it off halfway. It was like, it just is for me and my wife watching a movie. It was just not great. Like it just wasn't entertaining. But then my children were watching it the next day and I sat and watched it with them and I enjoyed it more.
Right.
I think it's because I was in the company of people who I felt I'd let my wife down by choosing that movie. I think is probably what I'm
Well,
trying
you
to
spent
say.
$5 on this. Only
Well,
a
we
few
got
more.
our
They need
money's
to buy
worth
a
out of it.
PS4.
Everybody watched it, and it, and the kids found it entertaining. And I actually found it more entertaining watching it with them because the silliness of it all. Whereas I felt like my wife and I could have done a little bit better for ourselves. Chosen something of a little bit.
What would you have watched that you could have got for a reasonable price? That's
I
newish.
don't know. I don't know. Not necessarily we would have had to buy something. There's probably tons of decent movies on the streaming
Yeah,
services that we
probably.
haven't seen, right? So
So,
I just felt it was a bad choice for a date night. It was a good choice for a family movie, I guess. Is it okay? It's okay. Has some moments in it are okay. It's a
is
lot
it
of
as good
fan
as the Lego
service.
movie?
No.
So how did you feel? Did you watch that with your wife? Or did you have just
Yeah, I
have
think
your
we
wife?
all went to them. Well, that was,
Yeah.
my kids were tiny when that came
Yeah.
out. So we all went to the movies, I think, to watch
But you'd
it.
still watch that, would you, again? Lego movie?
Yeah, the Lego movie's good.
Even though it has
Yeah, I
got
like
the same guy in it.
The Mario movie does it does a great job of being a Mario movie. All right. And it does the best. I think it does the best that it can with trying to appeal upwards. Right. But it's very difficult. I mean, there wasn't, they don't have free reign to do whatever they want, I think, with that IP. That's the whole point, right?
There's going to be
Mario
hundreds of
at
them
the
now,
end.
isn't there? Supposedly.
Really?
Well, all the Nintendo properties are going to get movies then.
Yeah. It's good, though. Bowser's good in it. There's not enough Yoshi, unfortunately.
Who plays Yoshi?
I don't even think
Has
Yoshi.
he got a voice?
Yoshi. No, I think you get a brief glimpse of some Yoshis at some point. But I didn't feel wowed by it. It was all right.
No
Feel
Barbie
free to
movie, though, you're saying?
definitely not. Well, only Dave can tell us that if he goes and watches the Super Mario movie.
But it must be coming. I'm sure it must be coming to Sky soon.
Probably.
I mean, Dave must have been able to watch it already by now.
What's
It's
that?
it's probably the biggest
Super
movie of the
Mario.
year.
Super Mario Brother. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh, you have seen it? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's okay.
It's a big bag of okay, right?
Yeah. I did think, oh, is that Jack Black as Bowser? And it was.
It was.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
that was it. Like there was just a few scenes where it was obvious, but then the rest of the time it wasn't. It was I think he sings one song or something
Peaches.
in it.
Peaches, yeah,
Peaches.
typical Jack Black stuff.
I've not heard it.
It's quite
still.
funny. It's quite funny.
Does he swear a lot, like he does in Tenacious D? 'Cause that would be funny.
No.
Yeah, I can tell you there is no swearing in the Mario movie.
No.
So that's pretty much all I've done. Dave, you've got only one thing on there.
I've only got one thing. What is the one thing? The one thing is Silo. Did I say about Silo before?
You said when I
Feel
was
like you
away.
did.
Right.
What made me chuckle when I was listening to you talking about Silo? It was like as if we'd never heard of it before, when I'd already mentioned it at least twice.
So, finished Silo. Watched. Brilliant. One of the best
No spoilers.
TV series. No spoilers.
I think I've got 2 or 3 episodes to go.
Okay. I said about it to the missus, and she started watching it the last day or two. And then, when you see somebody watch something and you think, "Oh, I wish I was watching it for the first time again," because it was that good. And so I've kind of sat down and started watching it with her. So I'm watching it again. First series.
So we should definitely get on board with this then, should we?
Yeah, me and my wife are watching it, but we got
My wife.
we had like we've done it in like 2 sittings. I think we've watched like 3 in a go, 3 in a go, 3 in a row, and it's like it got to us like we need a bit of a session. We need like a good time that we're going to be able to sit and watch, because you don't want to be like having 1 episode left, because it'll be like
right.
That'll be annoying to just have like the 45 minutes to an hour of the last episode be the last thing you watch. Well, I want to watch like a movie, like 3 episodes in one sort of thing.
Right.
So we haven't got around to the last few.
But you're saying it's worth a go.
Oh, it's good. It's definitely been good up until the point we've been watching it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it's the best TV this year.
Ooh.
Oh, I haven't watched it.
Yeah, that's including everything. Like
definitely better than the news.
in the inflation rate. Yeah. So yeah. So the news is that I'm finished watching Silo and I'm watching it again.
Okay.
Just miss watching it, and yeah, I love it.
Did
I
you
don't know.
watch Severance?
I did.
No.
You not watch
That was
Severance
last
either, Fraser?
No.
Holy shit, that's a double bill, mate. Watch Severance and watch Silo.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's some good fucking telly you can get stuck into for a few weeks.
All right.
I think Foundation is being released weekly.
Yeah, that's
I
the
know,
new series as
as
well.
well.
That was nowhere near as good as those other two, I don't think. It was alright,
Don't you
but it
reckon?
wasn't as good. No.
All right.
So Apple Plus is Apple Plus. Is that what it's
Apple
called?
TV
I'll
Plus.
let, I'll let my
TV,
my Disney sub run out, and then I'll get on to we got to finish The Bear. And actually, I'm really enjoying Last Man on Earth. I started watching that again.
Last Man.
I've
Is
never
that
seen
Dave?
that. That's comedy, isn't it?
Yeah, it does make me laugh at points.
I watched that up until his brother comes into the picture. I don't know if you got that far
Well,
or
he's
not.
obviously not
His-
the last man on Earth.
His
then.
brother's in space, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, right.
yeah. I watched up until then. That's like 2 or 3 seasons in.
Yeah, I think I'm about halfway through the second season.
Yeah, that's what I was seeing up to.
So something's going to happen with his brother at some point. So
Yep, it does.
Hijack, Chris Jackson is recommending, which is also on Apple TV. That was Idris Elba, the plane hijack thing that's on there. I didn't realise that was a series. I thought it looked like a movie, but it was actually a TV show, I think.
I thought it was a series. I thought it was a movie.
Oh, well, maybe it is. I don't know. But yeah.
What you got, Neil?
I've not seen that. I made a couple of purchases this week. I spent my £106 refund. Well, £103 of it on a different SSD drive, a 2 terabyte one this week. A brand you probably may have heard of this time, as in not last time. It was Crucial.
Right.
Provided this
Yeah.
SSD for me.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah.
it's slightly slower speed, but so far it fucking works, which is a massive
fucking
improvement on
hell.
the last one.
Who
That's
knew that
usually a
buying
bonus.
brand
Yeah, exactly. That is
good,
the
yeah.
key thing that I would like something to do when I buy it is actually work as advertised. So fingers crossed. That's sweet as a nut. And that was £103 for 2 terabytes of super fast SSD. Not quite as fast, but fast enough. So still, it's supposedly faster than the internal SSD drive, apparently, of the PS5. But yeah, not the fastest of the fast that you can buy. But yeah, a good price.
I think when you're going along these speeds, there is a theoretical limit of what the actual CPU can read anyway. So I know there is like these top limit of these SSDs, but it really depends on the
Like your
Yeah, sure.
eyeballs, Neil, right? So your eyeballs can take in thousands of words per minute, but you can actually only read about 3 or 4.
A minute.
3 or 4 words per minute.
I might be able to do more than 3 or 4 a minute.
After a good drinking sesh, maybe.
Yeah, well, it's like if I get 1 or 2 done in a minute when I've had a few. But yeah,
but no,
so
it's good. You set it up, it installed it.
It went in, and when I put the little cover on, which you have to put back on, there was no weird because it had little notches cut out at either end of the heatsink, so like there was no, it wasn't.
So it's
banging on.
meant to go in.
So
right?
it's
Because
like
you said that before,
yeah. So it works a treat, and I can fully recommend that one so far. And obviously,
Totally.
Amazon's refund policy is extremely good if it fucks up.
Brilliant. That's good.
And then I bought another thing because I got some of these. People who aren't listening, watching, can't see obviously, and it's a spray can.
It's anal lube in a can.
It looks like a can of paint, but actually it's just air. And I got a bit fed up with buying these to clean my PC and stuff like that. So I was looking on the old Amazon, and you can buy a lot of Chinese battery-powered air blasters. Obviously better for the environment a bit, probably, because you're not throwing cans of fucking compressed air in the bin and you can't get the last bit of air out of it. And it does spray a little bit of moisture out occasionally of the compressed air cans. But I didn't buy one of those because I found one that you literally plug in, and it looks a bit like an iron that you iron clothes with, but instead of a big metal plate on the end, it's got a hole where air just blasts out really fast.
Okay.
And so,
It's like a compressor, but like a
well,
miniature
it's just a
version.
big fast fan. I think basically it's not a
Right.
compressor. It just blows
Right.
like air really fast. And
Actually,
like,
there's no like charge up time or
no,
anything.
no. So
for it.
literally, it's plugged into the mains.
Right.
You can't use it for too long because it gets pretty warm.
Can you blow up an airbed with it?
No, I don't recommend blowing up an airbed with it because it would get well hot. You'd have to probably stop. So I gave my PC a bit of a blast, and there was fucking shit flying everywhere. And it was good. I loved it. So then I had to blast on my desk because there was just bits of dust everywhere. Probably should have taken my PC outside. Really,
I was gonna say take your PC outside if it's
my
the
son's
first time in a while.
PC. He's been playing F1 Manager on his PC lately, and that thing's been making quite a lot of noise. I'm like, I've not heard his PC make that much noise before. And it's only a management game. So it's running like you're watching the race play out in full 3D and everything. Well, it's only like 70% of the screen or whatever. But I'm like, that sounds like that's doing quite a lot of work there, that thing. So I think that might need a bit of a blast. So I might unplug that tonight, get it in the garden, get it.
Oh, you'll get your PS5 out there. You'll get.
Oh, I don't
get
need a
everything
PS5.
there.
I've had my PS5 in part a few times lately. It doesn't look very dusty. It's good.
Give the back of the TV down the
Yeah.
top a good blast as well. That's a good one.
Yeah, but I can't do loads in one go, obviously, like I said, because it does get hot.
And it'll blow up in your hands.
Yeah, so it's from IT Dusters, which is a British company. I don't know if it's it's probably made in China still, but
Probably.
they did have.
It's made in China.
Yeah, there are newer versions that were battery powered, but I was like, I don't fucking want to be. It's one of those things. You're like, we've got a battery thing. It's great. It sounds great. Then every time you want to use it, there's no fucking battery. So I might as well just plug it in, and that was my solution to that. So yeah, now I've got a thing to blast things clean. It's quite good. Come with 3 nozzles.
Oof. Spoil you.
Yeah. I don't know what the others are for. Oh, I did give my keyboard a blast as well. That was fucking shit went everywhere. That was good. It was only 40 quid. That's not many compressed air cans, I don't think. They're not that cheap. They're not expensive, obviously, but they don't last that long.
No.
So hopefully this will last longer than a few cans of compressed air.
All right.
You wait, next week. Thing blew up in my hand.
Yeah.
It's melted.
Yeah.
So that's
all right. Anything else?
Nothing exciting. But got my blood test results.
Oh, yeah.
High cholesterol. Hey.
Hey, welcome to the club.
Yay.
Actually, I need to get mine.
So I've got to cut out the beer.
Neil's drinking a beer, by the way, just for those who can't see. All right, let's move on then to what we've been playing.
Okay.
Would anybody? All 3 of us can start if we like on the same game, or should we go with the one outlier there? Should we go with the outliers first?
Let's go with the outliers first.
Okay.
I'll just go with an outlier before Neil does his because I'm more important. But I didn't put it down, but I was going to mention Hunt Showdown for 2 reasons. I know, but I'm going to mention it for 2 reasons. One, it's because you played with us, I think.
Yeah, I don't really remember though.
No, it was good. We had good games, I think. And then we got Arnie to play with us. I'm sure you did. Loads. And then we played with Arnie today. We managed to get him into game. The man who does not like Hunt at all came in and played some games with us today. We did not have any battles with anyone. We just every time I think we played 2 or 3 games, and every game, it was all boss banishing and out. So.
Oh, we fought with Croc when I was playing.
Oh yeah.
Lobbed a couple of waxed dynamite sticks.
Yes. Yeah. I've been perfecting my croc killing game, getting in the water now.
Have you got the dodge down now?
Yeah, pretty much. So, and then a couple of old stabs to the eyeball with a broken bottle. Sorts any crocodile out.
Yep. Does he come out and say, that's not a knife?
She.
All right. Okay.
So yeah, the hunt continues to be fun. That's all I need to say on Hunt.
Yeah. It's all right.
You enjoy your time out with us.
I was listening to another podcast, and it's called The Crate and Crowbar, and they had a question. I think. Oh no, it was they'd done a decade of shows, so they had like a 10-year show. So one of the things was, what was your game of the decade? And the Hunt Showdown came up on their podcast as one of their games of the decade. Because they still play it now. From early access days, they're still playing.
Yeah. I like the cut of their jib.
Yes. I don't know if that's where I first heard of it. But,
I think a lot of people were talking about it when it first came out. It was a general consensus that it was a good game.
I think I'm
we were always
solely
aware
responsible for getting everyone to be playing fucking Hunt Showdown.
Everyone, yes, of course you are, yeah. Yep.
Everyone that I know, anyway.
All right. You want to talk about your outlier?
My outlier? Right, well, earlier this evening and earlier on this week, I played a bit more Super Mario. And it continues to be extremely good. I am at Bowser's Kingdom, and I was like, I've fought 2 of his minions, bosses, so I think it's just Bowser left. I don't know for certain. But that's how it feels.
Right.
And as I said earlier, I have been playing this on my big TV for the first time. And yeah, it looks fucking bananas good, considering it's on a little Switch. I can't remember really what we spoke about last week.
It's magical, isn't it?
It's just like every location you go to, they like throw a new little mechanic in for your hat capture thing, and they're always really good. Like everything you do with when you, because the thing is with this game is like obviously you have the hat and you throw the hat at enemies, what are normally enemies, and you become that enemy. And the one it introduces tons of new mechanics through the hat all the way through the game, not always involving possessing your enemies, but like flicking around off of poles up really tall buildings and things and all that. There's just tons of it feels like original ideas. I don't know if they are all original, but yeah, stuff you've never seen in a Mario game before, that's for sure. And the last one, I mean, there's like these. They look a bit like Goomba birds. They're like birds, but they're the size of a Goomba thing. Everything's pretty much the same size, isn't it? It was like a big round thing with a beak.
Right.
And like when you press like Y or whatever, you poke your beak out to like attack.
Oh yeah,
things.
Yeah.
And then and you can also use.
There's
it
a
to
lot of
stick
those
in
on
the
the ramparts or something, isn't there?
This is a Bowser's Kingdom, yeah. So like there's
yeah.
like areas where like the big bombs are rolling out, and you like poke a bomb and it pings off in a direction, and you can blow up like unexplodable blocks and stuff. Just loads of really cool, and it's just something about it. It's like you don't really have to think too hard to know what you've got to do. It's just very well signposted. Like I never sit there and go, "What the fuck am I supposed to do now?" I just know. It's just quite easy. It's not even like finding all the secrets. You're trotting along and you're like, "Hang on a minute, what's that? Just in the side of there? Looks like it might be another way around here." And you're off and there's a little secret moon that you couldn't find. If you weren't paying attention, you would have missed. But there are always little hints of everything as you go through. Just really cool. And yeah, like I say, I'm right near the end now. Feels like anyway. I heard my Odyssey ship is a full ball on top. So that says to me I've done everything that I need to have to do, and it's all optional now, other than beat the boss, the final boss. So
I wish I need to go back and play it. I'm pretty sure we've still got it. So
yeah, the only thing about the Switch is, you say you buy games on cartridges. It's a fucking pain in the ass. I'm fucking so lazy now. It's like I've got so used to every other format. It's just I'll close this game and just open another one because it's on my hard drive or whatever.
Yeah, part of me, I get it. I mean, if I come down to the Switch to do a Zelda session and something like, I think I went in the other day and Just Dance was in there. And I was just like, oh, for goodness sake. And then you got to get up from the sofa and go take a cartridge out and put another one in and then go back to the sofa. I mean...
fucking inconvenience.
Yeah, first world problems, right?
Yeah, tell me about it. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know, like, the Switch is a piece of shit, really, isn't it? Compared to everything else that I play games on. But it's like, just doesn't matter.
It doesn't stop this argument I've had for a decade, though, which is when can we just get a console? Give me a decent console. Nintendo could just flip the script, Nintendo, right? For the
Bring
next
out a
one.
$700 Canadian console.
No, you don't need but they don't need to do that. They've proven they don't need to do that. They could bring out an affordable console with no bells and whistles, no screen or whatever, a little box with a couple of Pro controllers, and they would crush it. Crush it.
Would they though? Have the Wii
Yes.
and the Switch not proved that they've basically nailed what they know what they're fucking doing? They fucked up with the Wii U because they called it Wii something, but the Wii was sold gangbusters, and so did the Switch.
The Wii U was a great bit of kit as well, though. I mean, the Wii U was basically what I want, but also they'd shoehorned in a screen, right? You know, like they don't stop it. You don't need to keep doing that, you know. But they get their shit right. So what do I know, right?
I think they've proved that they know what they're doing.
Look, they must know something about what they're doing. You'd think.
Think they sold 120 million or 150 million Switches or something stupid.
They might have an idea now.
Yeah. So, Switch continues to get played, which is a surprise for me. It's on the big TV in my house now, my good TV, whereas it was on the old good TV prior to our holiday, which is not a good TV, but compared to my new one, it's not even new now. I have been looking at upgrading to a larger size OLED, but
right.
I can't justify that.
I just looked at the price of OLEDs. I won't be getting an OLED anytime soon.
Oh, mate, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. They can't be that expensive. You get a 2021 version, they must be still, like, you can get them well cheap.
I don't know about well cheap.
Mate, like $700, you must be able to get one for around $700.
You can get, I don't think I saw an OLED for under $1,500.
Wow. What fuck me.
Wow.
Well, the brand new ones over here are like, for a 55, I think you're looking at probably $1,500 for a 55, brand new. Like 2023.
Anyway, why are you tempting me, Siren?
Because it's so worth it. Because everything looks absolutely amazing.
It is one thing I'm not happy about. My TV downstairs really pisses me off. Shit.
Well, you get a nice OLED for upstairs and move that.
I know, I've already
downstairs.
thought that way. Yeah, but then if I get if I'm going to buy another TV, I'd buy a bigger one. And I don't know whether I want to put a bigger TV upstairs, but I definitely could put it downstairs.
So you're going to spend $17,000 on a nice TV for downstairs?
Can't do it.
Just for the Switch. Just to play Zelda on.
Just to play Zelda on once in a while.
So,
yeah. What's a QLED? There's a QLED here. $900. Samsung 65-inch.
That's not an OLED. QLEDs. That's still LEDs. QLEDs are good. They do a QD OLED or something. It's a Samsung one, and that's got like. Because the thing that the non-OLEDs do is that they have a higher brightness. OLEDs are really good for contrast because the blacks are black. It's like a cross between a CRT and an HD TV, because you get, when the pixel's off on an OLED, it's off. It's black. So you don't get shades of grey. You get blacks, which makes a huge difference. HDR is still good, but LCDs, like whatever, the QLEDs or whatever, do higher brightness. But brightness hurts my eyes. It's all about the blacks.
LG 65-inch OLED, $1,800 plus tax.
Yeah, but what's that? Is that a 2022 or 23 version?
I don't know.
Someone is out there on your fucking marketplaces trading up to the 2023 version, flogging off their 2019 version.
That's what I need. I'm really weary of buying television secondhand, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Anyway, we digress.
We do.
Is any more on Super Mario?
Well, I'll tell you. I'll let you know next
what
week.
level of completion are you going for? Or are you just trying
Does
to
it
get to
tell
the
you?
end?
I don't know how many moons I've got.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
I don't know how many moons there are total, but
Because it
I've
must
got.
tell you every section how you've done on
It
every
doesn't.
section.
Well, it doesn't tell you, does it? Because you only need a certain amount of moons to progress, and it tells you like there's a little in the top left. You've got whatever it is. I can't actually remember. There's a thing that's always there, and then underneath are the amount of moons that you need to get the Odyssey to move on to the next level. And there's definitely levels where there was like 8 blanks, and I did like 16. I found 16 moons in that one place. So I don't know if that helps. Then I get to the next level. You only need like 6 instead of 20 or whatever. But I've definitely got like 140 something moons overall. But I don't know how many there are. It doesn't tell me how many there are, and I haven't found all of the little special currencies in each area. I know that for sure, because each area has its own little special coins. You've got normal coins, and
purple coins,
and then
right?
the purple ones, and the purple ones you spend on different things. Because each area has its little special room that you have to be wearing that area's clothing to enter, and you have to get 15 of the purple currency for each area to be allowed in a special. Like there's always a little door somewhere that says, and there's some guy there going, "Well, you can't come in here, mate, because you're not wearing the right clothes." It's like a bouncer.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
And then you go and get the right clothes, and you can go in. There's like a little special area. You get a moon or whatever at the end of it. But yeah, it's just fucking. There's tons to do. Absolutely tons. It looks fucking awesome. Like I say, I was only playing it on the Switch when I was away on holiday, which looked okay. Blasting it up on the big OLED. Yeah, it looks so good. It just looks great. All the colours are just bam. Yeah, it's Mario, isn't it?
Yep.
So I'll be finishing that. I won't be. I don't think I can do Zelda. I can't do that on the Switch. I don't think, because I know that chugs.
It doesn't chug.
Yeah, it does. You just haven't got to the bits that chug, obviously.
Mate, it does chug a little bit, but if you think that that's enough to put you off playing it, you're very much mistaken.
I'm not sure it's my thing. I just don't know.
Well, there you go. Well, that's a different matter altogether, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe.
I think if there were people who
don't think I've ever finished one.
Oh, okay. Well.
So it's not. I've not no history of Zelda. I've never played them really.
Right.
I think what was the one?
Shame on you.
Is it Twilight Princess that came out on the Wii? I think that was the one I played. It was all dark and black. There was all about black stuff coming in everywhere. I don't remember.
Yeah.
And I don't think I finished that either.
I think that's one of the best ones out there.
That was where you have to like shake things, wiggle and shake, all that shit. Your nunchucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Don't know. I've got no thing to say. Yeah, you should play Zelda. Zelda's great. I'm like, never really played one. Never finished one. That's for sure. So I've finished quite a few Mario games. They're always good.
Yeah. Kids' games are easy to finish.
That was a thing. There was a boss. One of the bosses that was literally like playing a Mario game, going, "Isn't this all so cute and colourful, isn't it?" And then you literally play a fucking Dark Souls level right near the end. I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?" It's like, fight a massive fucking dragon. Like what? Yeah. So it's good. Very good.
Good. All right. You're making me want to play it again.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, I should. Okay. What we got next?
There's only one thing on my list.
One thing on my list. Dave the Diver, which I bought yesterday.
I saw, and then I see that you don't own it anymore either.
No, I refunded it.
Brilliant. Love it.
Are you? Why? What the fuck?
To Neil's disgust.
I can't believe you've refunded. You can't have played it very long. I was like, there's no way. You can't have played this very long.
I played it for about an hour. I was like, I played it and I did some diving. I was like, oh, this diving's pretty nice. Oh, my oxygen's running out pretty quick. That's a little bit annoying. Oh, I found some oxygen. Okay, grab some stuff, go back. Then I had to go to the sushi restaurant or whatever and start serving people. I went, not sure about this. Then I went back and was diving and had some nice, my proper headphones were on too. So it was like, sounds great when he dives in the water, and then it's nice and relaxing and you're looking around and harpooning a few things. I thought, this is really cool. And then I got back in the ship. It sent me to the restaurant again. I'm like, I'm not enjoying this bit. This is no.
That's a minor part of it, honestly. The further you go, like obviously, generally at the beginning, you don't have much oxygen. You can't go very far underwater. Blah blah blah. There's not much to do other than the fishing part of it, and then more and more fucking stuff happens and opens up. You get more and more stuff to do. I've got a fucking Tamagotchi game on my phone now, which I can choose to fucking play or not. There's fucking so much stuff in this game. I can't believe you've refunded it. It's unbelievable.
I think
The
there's a
sushi
disconnect.
restaurant part
The
of
problem
it literally
is
lasts
already
about
I'm like
fucking 5
already I'm
minutes,
sitting
and
there
all the
thinking
other stuff
maybe I
takes
should
the most while.
I'm already sitting here thinking maybe I should rebuy it. But I think that's the problem is your enthusiasm for it is so infectious. But it doesn't necessarily mean I'm on board, right?
See, I've got a different take on it, and I'm playing it a lot. I've played it mainly.
I
this week.
noticed you're smashing through it by the look of it.
Yeah. So every time if you follow the objectives, every time you do something, there's something new to do. It progresses the story. It's different missions. You with the restaurant, when you've done the story part in the actual diving, something happens in a restaurant and you get a special guest, or you've got to serve a special
type of fish
dish, or there's like parties that only want tuna or what's it called, jellyfish dishes. And every time, for me playing it, every time I'm doing something, either going diving or going to the sushi, and then more things actually progress after that. It's a different challenge. So you're not only diving down for the same fish and you're not doing the same thing.
Honestly, the sushi part is like a minor part of the game. It's literally my longest dive now. I've spent, I think it was this morning, like an hour and 20 minutes underwater.
Oh, is it really? Right.
In one go.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
So and then at the end of the day, I go to the sushi restaurant for like 5 minutes. And then I go back in the water.
I've got staff that do everything now.
Yeah, I've got extra staff that go off and try and find stuff for me.
Yeah.
So for ingredients for the restaurant, which are harder to come by. What I did was, there was one that I was like, I couldn't remember where to get sea grapes from. And I was like, I want to sell this meal because it's worth fucking loads of money. And then, so I employed a new person, spent fucking like a fat 1,500 coins or whatever on a new person, so that I could send one of my other people to find sea grapes,
right,
or something or other. And then I went into underwater and I went round this corner that I don't normally go in, and I was like, oh fuck me, look, all these sea grapes. I found fucking tons of them. So there's like, I've unlocked, I don't know, about 6 different types of weapons now, and then you upgrade the weapons to do different things, like, and I really want to try and get 3-star fish all the time. Is my thing now. I'm like, there's a thing like on your phone that unlocks after a while, that tells you all of the fish you've caught, and there's like blanks where, or like a silhouette of a fish that you haven't caught yet. I'm like, well, I want to fucking find that fish now, don't I? And I want to make sure it's a 3-star bad boy, so I want to shoot it with a tranquilizer gun so that I can capture it at 3 stars rather than like batter the fuck out of it with my harpoon gun until it's only 2 stars. I get more meat off of it when it's a 3-star than I do when it's a 2-star. And if I actually kill the fucker, I get fuck all, basically. I'm just really fucking. I am getting to the. I've done like 20 odd hours of this game now, so it's like I really feel like I should start mainlining the story to get to the end, but I just get sidetracked. Like, oh, there's a fish I haven't fucking seen before, so I best go and catch that motherfucker. There's like new characters that turn up and give you more jobs to do all the time, and it's like taking photos of fish underwater, so it's not always about catching.
God.
Yeah. There's so much. And the little cutscenes. I skip most of the cutscenes now because and they're all really cool. The first few times you see them, I don't need to see this anymore. Just skip.
Yeah.
And I've
Yeah.
I've worked out you get different types of harpoon when you're underwater. Like you open a crate and sometimes it'll be like, ooh, there's a shock harpoon, and I'm like, okay, and it says it does like electricity damage, and I'm like, ooh, that doesn't sound good. It sounds like it's going to damage my fish. But the first time you catch a fish, you have to have a few pops at it. Like you harpoon it, and it'll be like, nope, you ain't caught that fish. You got to harpoon it again, and then some of them, there's a tell. Like basically, once it starts like letting off blood,
Yeah.
that the next time you harpoon it, you're going to have to do a thing to catch the fish. And depending on what type of harpoon you've got, you have to do something on your controller. Like
I had a button mashing, right?
Yeah, there's a button masher. They've already said in a dev update, because a lot of people have accessibility problems with this. They're in the next big update. There's going to be a patch that lets you just hold a button instead of button mash. I was like, well, that's like taking a part of it away, because I definitely don't hardly ever button mash the first one to get it right, but it's usually on the second one. You're like, I know it's coming now, and I'm like, but there's like one of the harpoons is like you have to waggle the left stick. Because I'm playing on controller, or it's W and D, A and D, like tap A and D if you're playing on keyboard. And then there's another type of harpoon where it comes up with two buttons and you've got to press them boop, boop, in the right order.
Yeah, I thought that was AD for ages, and it doesn't. It changes.
What, when you're waggling? Or like, just the button presses?
Yeah, when the button presses. Yeah,
it changes all the time. You're like, oh, you fucker. And there's bits, like some of the fish are obviously aggressive towards you immediately. Like there's the sharks around, and you can kill the sharks, but you've got to learn like their tails and sort of thing. Like some of them will they clock you straight away, and they're fucking like on you, and you're like shit. And the amount of times I'd been fucking like I've picked up so much stuff. And it's like, yeah, I'm fucking going back to the surface. I'm fully loaded, pit fat and heavy, because like you got a weight of stuff you can carry. I don't know what it starts at, like 20 kilos or whatever. And you put in your coin that you earn through the restaurant. You spend that on upgrades for your suit, and one of the things is you can upgrade the amount of stuff you can carry. I'm up to like 125 kilos that I can take out now.
Oh yeah, that's way more than I was. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but it lets you carry. It's like that's your limit, but it lets you go over your limit, but it slows you down, and then it gets to a point above that limit where it's just like, nope, you're not carrying anymore, and you're really fucking slow. And if you were like plodding along, like up to the surface, thinking, yeah, I'll just gradually get up there. I'm a bit overweight. I've got all this cool stuff though, and then a fucking shark with like a fucking saw nose comes like zooming at you, like shit, fucking like takes loads of your air away, and you're like, fuck. And I lose everything other than one item that I'm allowed to take with me. I'm like, oh, that's happened a few times. But it's like, it's my own fault. I got greedy. I just fucking... I'm still only at gold level restaurant though. And I'm like, I don't know what I need to do. I know it tells me what I need to get to the next level, platinum. But I don't seem to be going up on my... what is it called? It's like the little happy face thing. Emoji thing, and I'm like, I don't know how to up this anymore. It's on 150 and it doesn't seem to be going up, no matter how many different meals that I serve. But yeah, like the other day I smashed in a one night at the sushi restaurant, gave me about 12,000 coin. I was like, nice, yeah. That got spent pretty quick because all my upgrades are like 6,000. And you may have heard about the sea people that you find. They're quite calm. They turn up fairly early, but there's a whole load of new stuff that you find. The upgrades from the sea people. But I feel like I must be getting quite close to the end. But at the same time, I'm not 100% sure, because I feel like there's a lot of upgrades I can still do. But yeah, like I say, I'm just spending longer and longer underwater now. And like my oxygen tank is 370 is my like oxygen.
Is that? Yeah, no, I'm only at 200 or something.
Yeah, and that so that allows you to spend a lot more time underwater, obviously, and every time you find an oxygen tank, it's bang straight up to 370. So it's like, yeah. But yeah, I'll say it was about an hour and 20 minutes this morning. I spent like swimming around in all the new locations I've got to. But yeah, I was just like, it doesn't stop. Like I said about Mario, it keeps adding a new mechanic or whatever. This game is similar. It's just like, you think it looks like a simple game. That's why I hear people talking about it. And they're in the early stages and they're like, yeah, you just go fishing and you go back to the restaurant. It's pretty cool. Yeah. It's all right. It's pretty great. Everything's great. And you're like, well, you don't even know the fucking half of it, mate. There's so much stuff that happens after you get past all that stuff.
I think if it goes on sale for a decent price, I'll pick it up again.
But
for some reason, it just didn't grab me.
Well, you didn't play it long enough. That's for sure.
Yeah, maybe.
You didn't you literally got through the basics an hour. You don't even start. Like I say, the sushi restaurant's the actual serving part of it is such a minor part of it now. My part of it now is like, oh, I've got this meal that's worth 600 coins every time I sell one. I've got to make sure I sell all of those, otherwise I'll have wasted that. Because I've fought so many, I don't know how many bosses I've fought now, about 7 or 8 maybe.
Right.
There's like massive boss fights that come along. Yeah. And like it's similar, like to like not quite. It's not Dark Souls, but it's like you're like this little fat diver dude, and you're fighting just the most ridiculously huge bosses. And it's great, absolutely great.
Dave, you feeling the same amount of love?
I love it. It's really good. It's so simple. Yeah, as I say, every time I'm progressing a story, I'm progressing something. I've got a new mission or a new objective to work towards. It really pushes you along, or pushes me along to feel like I'm progressing throughout the story. And there is a story, and it's got my name in it. So
yeah,
what's not to love?
All
I
you
like
got
the
to do
way
is
you put
start
it in the
diving.
show notes. You just put the diver. That was good.
So yeah, it's a very addictive game. It's the first time I've actually cracked open on the PC during my lunch break, and just thought, I'll just have a quick go on it, because I'm all about that at the moment. Just quick 15 minutes, 20 minutes, but obviously it takes a lot longer than that to do a dive, two dives.
If you smashed an hour and 20 minutes out.
Well, yeah. Whereas on the ones I think I did the other day, I was just like, right, let's just go and hunt a shark, and
then usually one of those things is like, I was just going to go and do this, and that's the dive where it goes, oh, now there's this whole new thing for you to do, and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah. It's it does change stuff up. Adds little mini games, and it reveals new areas unexpectedly. So yeah, it's a very good game. It's a I think it's quite new on a lot of people's radars, really. I think it is quite a big team to do it. But yeah, it's one of those sort of little hits that sort of just blew up. So yeah, no, it's a very good game. I Fred's saying I'd pick it up on the cheap. I don't think it'll be on the cheap for a while.
I think it'll be like 10 or 20% off the next time it goes off. It won't go much more than 25% off the next time it's on sale, I don't think. Yeah, and then maybe in the Christmas sale it might go to 30 or 40%. I don't think it's going to get bigger. Give it a year after it came out before it goes to half price or whatever. Because it's still selling gangbusters. Excuse me.
Yeah, it is doing very well. So yeah, it's I love it.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's it, isn't it? There's not much more. We haven't been playing.
Well, the only thing is, we have Vegetarians. Andy Cott's come up a few times today, but me, Andy, and Dave have been playing coffee golf and posting our scores in the Discord. I assume everyone else has muted that channel.
Yes.
But it's not competitive, but it's definitely competitive.
Yeah. So yeah, you made a new channel, didn't you, for the coffee golf on the Discord?
Well, Andy started that because he posted in the show comments that he'd heard us talking about it, and I was
Right.
like, I don't really want loads of coffee golf scores in this show comments channel, to be honest. But that's fine. And then so I was like, I'm just going to make a channel for it for the time being until everyone gets bored. Well, all three of us get bored anyway.
But no, it's
That continues to be my little thing on my phone. I'm like, I can't sleep, or I've been up all night and I haven't slept, so I'm going to play coffee golf before I go to bed. Or I've just got up and I'm going to do my dailies on whatever on my phone, and I guess I might play coffee golf now.
Yeah,
Usually if one of the others has
it doesn't
posted
take
next
more
one.
than a couple of minutes, so it's a very easy game to play.
Yeah, we say very easy to play. Sometimes it's not very easy to play.
It's a very
the
easy
last
game
couple of
to
there's 2 or 3 days this week. It's
participate,
been
yeah.
like, you fucker, that's a right twat of a hole. Like
Yeah.
literally like an island of the green of one
Yeah.
hole the other day was literally like big enough just for the green. I was like, oh, fucking hell, you have to be pretty fucking accurate here. And I got quite lucky on a couple of occasions, that's for sure. I've been like, I've started to suss a few things out. The putting's just not for when you're near the hole is one thing I've discovered. That was definitely a bit of course management going on that day that everyone was like, fuck me, this is rock hard. I was like, I'm just going to chip it instead of drive this, and then I'm going to get in a better position to like go at the hole from there.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I've been like, I could probably chip this towards the thing, but there's all those trees in the way. I'm never really quite sure where the ball's going to land, so I'm just going to putt this fucker from miles away.
Yeah, well, it goes under the trees.
Yeah, exactly. You don't hit no trees when you're putting.
No. Yeah, that's a
But
hidden thing.
that's a good mobile game for sure.
It's brilliant. Yeah. Doesn't take more than a couple of minutes. It's done and dusted. Post your score.
Well, it takes me about an hour. I have to study each one. No, it doesn't take that. It doesn't take that.
All right. Okay, are we done then?
I think so. Played some PGA 2K 23 on PlayStation. Came to PS Plus the other day. I played it and I was like, balls fucking going everywhere. I was fucking flying left, right, and centre. Like,
did you say this ain't no coffee golf?
Exactly.
No.
This is even more inaccurate than coffee golf. Fucking hell. But yeah. What else?
No.
Don't know if I've ever played anything else.
Oh, I nearly bought the Constellation version of Starfield
Why?
because it's got a really cool
Oh,
watch
is
and
mate.
on it.
Doesn't that have like 300 quid or something stupid?
Yeah,
Ooh.
and you can't even, and you have to get an Xbox version in the UK.
So you wouldn't even be able to play it.
I don't have an Xbox.
But you'd get the PC version included in Game Pass.
Well, no, I'm with Game Pass already, but the Constellation version gets you an early access
on Xbox.
On Xbox.
Which he doesn't have.
Which he doesn't have.
Did you not buy a Series S for your daughter?
No.
I thought you
was going to. No, I nearly did, but I didn't. Because, I don't know. It just didn't happen in the end.
Got a Switch instead.
No. But no. Yeah, there is Steam versions, but not in the UK for the Constellation version.
Yeah, really.
Well, but I really want to watch. I think the watch is going to be.
You could just buy a watch, Dave.
No, but the Starfield watch is going to be worth quite a lot of money, I think.
Yeah. Not when it don't work after a month.
Be right.
All right, we done?
I'm nearly tempted by a stupid purchase for a console that I don't have for something that's probably. Yeah, it's like.
Did you get the Pip Boy thing? When they did, was that Fallout 4 they did that for?
Yeah, no, I didn't do that. I do
probably just as well.
Actually, I'll have a look on eBay. see if they're going for anything.
All right, are we done?
Yeah, Fraser's getting the arse now. Just keep talking.
Come on, fish up. I want to do dinner.
Gotta go dinner, pinball, dog walk.
Oh, I guess we're done.
Pinball.
There is no pinball this week.
No?
No.
Pinball.
Tonight. We're going tonight. So, look. And this old Muttley down here, he's ready for his walk. So, Dave, do you want to do your bit?
Lovely. Yep. I will say thank you for listening to the Seal Podcast. If you'd like to ask us questions or get involved, please contact us either on X, at
You
Seal
could
Podcast.
post on X.
Yeah, post
Yeah,
on
that's
X.
apparently what you call it. They're called. They're not
Oh, yeah.
tweets. They're posts now.
Right.
Fucking name.
Post on X. Email us at sealpodcast@gmail.com or join us on a Discord server. A link is pinned on X. We have YouTube and Twitch channels which we upload and stream to. We stream to twitch.tv/sealpodcast. Neil, do you want to shout out for chat?
Yeah, Quaxel Jax, Baron von Glauer said hello, and Joysticks and Chill and Sumu all in the chat chatting. Thank you for joining.
Wonderful. All right. Well, thanks very much, everyone. Thank you, guys. Good to speak to you again. All being well, I can't really see any reason why not. We shall catch up with you next week. Until
Definitely
then,
hope
so
so.
long.
See ya.
Bye.